Heidi-ho YouTube, Major Cord, and you just saw a video, or hopefully you just saw a video, where I showed off this Camillus Cub Scout knife that I found on the Evil Bay for $10. And I went into how, in my antique, I guess you could call them antique, knife collecting, I'm going to be collecting knives produced by Camillus and knives of the Scout pattern. And for those of you that aren't informed, Scout pattern knives being knives with a blade, can opener, screwdriver, cap lifter, and an awl, if I can get it out. This one happens to be made by Rough Rider, and it's a very nice specimen. I mean, 12 bucks. Many stores you can find it still being produced. This is currently part of my EDC, so very nice knife. In the collection of general Scout pattern knives, I'm not going to be very picky. I'm generally going to collect whatever comes my way. If it has a official Boy Scouts of America emblem, fine, cool, all the better. But if it's just the general Scout pattern made by, say, Ulster, Camillus, I'm trying to think of any other companies, Cattaraugus. Cattaraugus knives, by the way, I think I might start collecting too, because the company itself was located maybe an hour away from me, which is really cool. But that's a completely different topic. I haven't even had my morning tea yet, so I'm a little disoriented. Yeah, where was I? I'm going to be very indiscriminate, as long as it's made in America. So, my EDC knife is made in China, which is fine. It's still a very high-quality knife. However, for the collection itself, I want to stick to American-made knives, which means they're going to be knives with some age on them that generally are out of production. So, we're going to be looking at eBay finds, heavily used knives most likely, so they're going to be knives that I'm going to need to rejuvenate in some way, shape, or form. Clean up, you know, spend some time sharpening, give some TLC to. And when I saw this knife on an eBay store, I jumped on it, and that would be the Boy Scouts of America knife produced by Imperial. Now, this knife was produced between 1958 and 1988. I believe those dates, yeah, I think that's the dates that this knife was produced. Haven't done a whole ton of research on this, but because I'm still new to the hobby of collecting specific patterns. But it's essentially a well, it is a Scout knife, but the more modern equivalent would be, I think, the Victorinox, what's the, Cadet, basically? Yeah, the Cadet or the Soldier. But, as you can see, it was produced by Imperial Knives of Providence, Rhode Island. And this knife has nice patina to it, a teeny bit of rust in some places, although I'm unsure if what I think is rust is actually just a patina or not. So I am hesitant to clean it off. Some of the tools are openly rusty, so I will be cleaning them, but the blade itself looks to be just patinaed. You have your can opener. Again, looks to me just to be patinaed, but maybe slightly rusty, so I'll be cleaning it off. The awl, I can definitely tell, has some little spots of red rust, so I will be cleaning this one with probably some Flitz wax, just to get it cleaned up and stop it from oxidizing more. But all the tools have a very nice snap. After I cleaned it up, it came a bit grimy, but after it was soaked in some Dawn and hot water, it cleaned up fine. I mean, scrubbed out with a toothbrush and Q-tips. That's really all you need to do to clean out a lot of these older slip joints, is soak them for a little while, swish them around in the water, and scrub them out. And they will clean up just fine and work good as new again. The blade itself, teeny bit of wiggle, but it locks up. Well, it doesn't lock, but it sits in its spring just fine. There's no half stop on this knife. But, I mean, everything functions perfectly for a knife that could be between, what, 20-something and almost 50 years old. I'm guessing it's probably closer to the younger side of its age bracket. just because it doesn't appear to be that heavily aged. But as you can see, the Boy Scouts of America emblem is on the handle. The paint is wearing off, but it's etched in there. These handles, I believe they're aluminum. They could be plastic, but I'm relatively sure they are aluminum. They feel metallic to me. So, it is missing the bail. But I really don't care. Again, I'm not... This one I might actually carry. Where did I put it? The Camillus knife here. I'm probably not going to carry very often. But if I do, you know, it'll be a special occasion knife. This knife here, I might rotate into my performance carry. You will probably see before this video, because I have a whole bunch of videos that I need to upload, a video where I show my updated performance carry, and there are a couple slip joints that I update. Yeah, really good. That I rotate through my tuxedo pockets every now and then, and this is such a beautiful knife, and I just think it's classy. So I will be probably throwing this in my pocket for next week's concert. But that's totally off topic. Back to this knife. This, I think I will have no qualms throwing in my pocket. Just because it's a workhorse knife. I was able to put a pretty decent edge on it. Probably not good enough to slice phone book paper. I have not tried phone book paper yet. Oh, there we go. So, with just a set of stones, I was able to fix this steel up to the point that I can generally accept it. I mean, it slices phone book paper. There are a couple imperfections in the blade, but if I strop that a bit, it'll probably work itself out. So, yeah, not a bad find for $10. I think it was $7 with like $3 shipping off of eBay. Yeah, not much more I can say about this knife. You can see there are a couple spaces in the back spacers, or back springs. Yes. So, other than that, not too shabby. And I'm looking forward to picking up a few more of these Scout knives, or Camillus knives, whatever I find. I mean, it's not like a addictive hobby. It's just whenever I see something that really catches my eye for a cheap price. Generally, I want to stay under $10 to $15 because when you pick up a heavily used knife like this off of eBay, you're not exactly sure what you're going to get. You can't handle it before you buy it. You're going based on the seller's description, and most of the time they're not knife people. So with this one especially, the way it was pictured, it was on some sort of satin sheet or something, and I couldn't tell how far ground off this blade was. So I was fearful that I was going to be missing a lot of blade. But thankfully it came in good condition. So I generally try not to spend too much money on something I'm not going to be too sure about, you know? But with both of these I was very impressed. And I'm quite happy with my purchases. But it's not on this, this video is not on this knife, so I shouldn't be showing it too much. I'm going to make a short addendum to the overview of the Imperial Scout knife. I was doing some food prep with it. Yeah, I'm not afraid to use it. Why not? I was cleaning it off and I noticed that one of the previous owners had inscribed their name into the blade. Not sure how well that's going to show up, but it says either KT or KI Flick or Fick. So I thought that was pretty cool. Gives it a bit of extra character. There we go. Yeah, of course my hands aren't too steady without a tripod, but I don't know how I missed that before, but I think that's pretty freaking cool. So, now I'm officially going to end this review, and say thank you for watching. Major Cord out.